Alright, in this tutorial I'm going to show you how to go in and set up opencart. It's basically when you first install it, it comes with some sample products just to kind of show you how it works and stuff like that. It's easy to go in and remove the products. You can select all of them like that, and then you would just click the delete button right here. You would also need to do that not just with products, but with different things, attributes, manufacturers, and things like that. And you even might want to go into the extensions and into the modules and just remove the ones that you're not going to be using and just uninstall them just so that they're not in the way. And but that's not the hardest part. That's the easy part, is removing those sample products and things that are in there. The hardest part is setting up localization. And so to do that, you go into Systems and you go into localizations. Now a lot of people don't understand what localization is, but basically it's this. If I charge tax to just the state that I'm in, so if a customer comes to my website and they buy from me and they're from my state, then I might need to charge tax to them. If they are in another state, then I might not have to. So localization allows me to define zones and basically say that they are in this particular zone, which is my state, and so based on that I need to charge them X amount for my taxes. You can also use localization for shipping, and that's probably one of the main purposes that people set up localization. The default install comes with localization for the UK, and I'm in the US, and I know a lot of people are in the US and they go to use this and they find that that's a problem, that everything's set up for the UK. And so we're going to go through and change that. So first thing you want to do is go into taxes. It kind of seems a little weird that you go kind of backwards, but we need to go into taxes and go into classes, and then we're going to open up these things, and we need to remove the taxes, the rates that are in these classes, because we can't remove the rate until we've removed them from the class first. And so by removing them, that frees them up so that we can now go in and remove the rates that are in there. So now that I've done that, now I can go in and I can go to tax rates, and I can remove these two rates. And now I could add my own rate. And say I want to charge tax for, I'm in Utah, so say I want to charge tax for Utah, and I'm just going to do 6.25, whoops, 225, and that's going to be a percent, and it's going to be for default custom groups. Here's the problem though, actually, and I can't do that until I set up the Geo Zone. So let's go in and do that now that we've removed the taxes. Now we can go in and set up Geo Zones. And so the Geo Zones, you can see here's one for UK shipping, and here's one for the UK VAT zone. So I'm going to remove both of those. Let's see if I can. Yep. And okay, so now let's add a new zone, and let's add Utah. And now I'm going to add the zone. So now I just need to find the United States here, and Utah here. Now here's kind of a tricky thing that kind of throws some people. If I want to charge for national, for in the United States, I want to charge one shipping rate, and outside the United States I want to charge a different rate. You have to be careful of that, and that's one of the problems with opencart, is that if I go to add, let's say, let's actually do continental USA. So if I do continental USA, I'm just going to add that as my description too. And I go down here and I'm just going to press on the U key on my keyboard. That got me to United States. And I just leave it on all zones. Look what some of those zones are. American Samoa, Armed Forces Africa, Armed Forces Americas. It's got a whole bunch, Federated States of Micronesia. It's got a whole bunch of places that would cost me a lot to ship out there. Marshall Islands. So because these are all parts of the United States, but they're not local, so we need to go through and define continental United States as one geozone. And how you do that, this is the hardest part, it's just a lot of monotonous work, is you go in and you add each state one by one. And so you go, and we go to the next one, Alaska, and we do that one by one. I think there are some plugins out there that make this part a little bit easier, but basically that's what you need to do. You need to go through each one of those and define that. Now international could be the same problem, because there could be different countries. Let's see, for example, some countries like Cuba are banned from trade with the United States and different places, different things like that. So you have to be careful. I can't remember what the word is, but they basically have been. We have to be careful with trading and selling things to different countries, and so you'd want to go through your international as well. And I know certain clients of mine, they go through the international and they say, you know what, I have trouble shipping to that country, and every time I do, the package gets lost or whatever. I'm not going to ship to that country. And so they go through and they fine tune, and they basically hand pick what they want as far as which countries they want and stuff like that. So for something like that, it's almost best that the owner goes through, or whoever's going to be in charge of making sure the products get shipped to the right place, goes through and hand picks each one and make sure as far as countries go. And that's if you're doing it national. Once you do that, once you have set up these geo zones, then you can go into your shipping, and you can go into your taxes. And so for example, let me go back into tax rates, and now I can add that tax rate, excuse me, and I can go Utah 6.25%, and it's going to be for Utah, and I just hit save, and there it is. So the same goes with shipping. If I go into add an extension for shipping, and say I want to do UPS, but I only want to do UPS in the continental United States, so I just enabled it. So now it's been installed. So now I can edit it. So now I go through and you can pick, all the different settings, but here is where you'd pick your geo zones. And so that's where if somebody was from Hawaii, and I didn't choose Hawaii as one of the continental U.S. states, and they went to go check out, they would not be given UPS as an option. Now, I'm just giving you an example. I'm sure UPS is available in Hawaii. However, you would probably want to charge more because you do have to ship it there. There's also places like Puerto Rico where it's farther away, but you also have to fill out customs papers, so you might want to charge a little bit more for the handling of the package and stuff like that. So that's the basics to getting started, to setting up the localization of your opencart shopping cart. Hopefully that's answered a lot of questions for you. If you do have any questions, feel free to go on over and contact us at topedgeservices.com. Thanks.